Yeah, good afternoon, students. Hello. Around 41 students have joined. So in the last class, we have covered about Gauss law and Gauss law, the point form of Gauss law. That means point form or differential form, both are same. Okay, so these things we have seen. And what is Gauss law? Just for recall purpose, I am recalling. What is Gauss law? Anyone of you? So Gauss law states that. Anyone of you? What is Gauss law? Anyone of you? Gauss law states that the total normal electric flux which is coming out over a closed surface is equal to 1 by epsilon times the total charge within the closed surface or enclosed within the closed surface. This is about the Gauss law statement, right? So here, based on this Gauss law statement, here already we have done electric field intensity due to different surfaces like linear surface and volume. So in the similar way, with the help of Gauss law, how electric field intensity can be calculated. So here, today we are going to see about with the help of Gauss law, we are going to find electric field intensity due to various charge distributions. So today we are going to see that electric field intensity due to uniformly charged sphere. So before going to see this electric field intensity due to uniformly charged sphere, so here already we have covered about the point form and differential form. So point form of Gauss law means that is the differential form of Gauss law, that is del dot E is equal to rho by epsilon naught, which is in free space, correct? So that means del dot E is equal to rho by epsilon naught, and at the same time, the same expression can also be written as del dot D is equal to rho by rho. How this will be written is equal to rho. So here, this expression can be written as del dot epsilon naught E is equal to rho. And this epsilon naught, if you bring this in, then it comes this. Here, since already we know that the charge density or displacement flux density can be written defined as epsilon naught times of electric field intensity. This D already we know, D is equal to epsilon naught E. So this is the expression which we have taken and we already done, right? So now, today we are going to see with electric field intensity due to uniformly charged sphere. So now I am telling you to everyone, this is one of the important application of Gauss law. So here, before going to do this, what we can do? So here, just give me some time. I will draw the figure here. Here I'm drawing the figure. Please draw, everyone. This is the circular sphere I had taken. Now, on this charged circular sphere, we are going to find the electric field intensity, okay, where the charge is uniformly distributed. So in this case, here I am taking that the charge exactly on this will be taken as some positive charge. So that I am taking as positive charge, okay, and I will put that one also. Why I had drawn this? In the last class already I drawn this. Enough for me. Now, so here electric field intensity due to any charged sphere can be calculated at 3 different points. What are they? First one. So here electric field intensity can be calculated as first one, point lies. That means point lies outside the charged sphere. When the point lies outside the charged sphere, so you can put electric field intensity at a point outside the charged sphere. Outside the charged sphere. This is the first topic we are going to see. And second, okay, second one is electric field intensity at a point, electric field intensity at a point on the surface of the charged sphere. Next, third one we can go and find, that is electric field intensity when the point lies inside the field intensity at a point inside the charged sphere. So how many 3 different ways are there? charged surface. So here, first we are going to find with output outside when the point lies outside the sphere, charged sphere. And next one is when the point lies on the surface of the charged sphere. And third one is when the point lies inside the charged sphere. How they should be calculated. For this purpose, what I did, here I had taken a sphere of radius, here I had taken a sphere, I assumed a sphere, width of radius, here I am taking width of radius, capital R, with the same expression which we had taken in the last. So here, the radius of this will be taken as capital R with respect to this. Here, so here, capital R is the radius of this actual sphere. And now here, what I'm going to do means the area of the surface area will be taken as some S is the surface area with respect to this sphere, or with respect to this sphere also we can take. Why I have taken this, I will tell you. Now, this is the point O I am taking, and here the charge, because it is uniformly charged sphere. So uniformly charged sphere means here, let a charge Q be uniformly charged over it. So that we have taken. Now, suppose the point lies outside. Here the point I have taken. This is the point I have taken, that is point P. So this is the point where I am going to get the electric field intensity. Okay, I'm going to find the electric field intensity at this particular point. Now, you people tell me that this point lies outside the sphere or not. So, what is this another circle shows here? Sphere means here I'm assuming a Gaussian surface, because with the help of Gauss law, we are going to derive this. So, for that purpose, what I'm doing, by assuming a Gaussian surface at this particular point, width of radius from this center of this sphere will be taken as some R I am taking with other than this capital R. I am taking this with some smaller. So here from the center of the sphere, I am taking from here to here. From here to here, this should be smaller. Okay, so that means what I did here, I assumed a Gaussian surface at this particular point P. Okay, so width of radius R from the center of the sphere, which we are taking. So this is also a concentric sphere with respect to the sphere which already we are taken in free space. Now the point lies at here outside the sphere of this actual sphere. Now with respect to this Gaussian surface, what actually we are doing? So here with the help of Gauss law, we are going to get the electric field intensity at this particular point P. So for this symmetry of charge distribution, width of positive Q, plus Q. So that means wherever you take, it should be plus Q. Just I am drawing for your reference purpose, all are plus Q, okay? Because everywhere on the surface also, but I am not drawing because you will get confused. Just I am putting on the problem. And it doesn't mean that it is only on the surface, it is everywhere, here also. But we will get confused, that's why I am not drawing there. Correct? So with respect to this, the positive charge present over on this particular sphere, this will be always, it is symmetry of charge distribution. This is symmetry of charge distribution. When we say symmetry of charge distribution, always the electric lines of force with respect to this particular charge will be always outward drawn normal. That means here the Gaussian, the point which you are taken, where you are going to calculate, this is perpendicular to the sphere. Correct or not? If suppose this is my positive charge, the lines of force will be outward normal. Wherever you take, whatever the line, electric line of force, if you take, this is perpendicular to this, correct or not? Which are outward drawn normal, correct? So in that case, here the electric lines of force which will be in this direction, it will be outward normal, which will be outward drawn normal. Now, what I am going to do means here the direction of this is outward, that we know. Now, here I am going to take a small Gaussian surface. So that means small Gaussian surface on this will take, means what we have to do, we have to take a small area element on this surface. And now, if the total surface area of the sphere is yes, then with respect to this Gaussian surface also, the surface area will be ds, correct? Will be ds. Why ds? Outward drawn normal, that also. Because that is the small area element which we are taken with respect to the sphere. Yes, okay. Surface area of the sphere is yes. So in this case, the outward drawn normal with respect to the small ds is also outward drawn normal. So that means this is about ds with respect to the smaller. The angle between these two will be equal to 0. angle between these two will be equal to 0 because these two are the parallel lines, correct or not? So this is our assumption what we have taken, and with respect to this Gaussian surface we are written. And now I'm going to write the small, with respect to this small Gaussian surface which we have taken, so small area element on this Gaussian surface, I'm going to write the electric field intensity. So that means with the help of from Gauss law, everyone can write down from Gauss law, okay, with respect to, I'm writing shortcut with respect to the Gaussian surface, with respect to the Gaussian surface, yes, that is small ds. I'm going to write. So here I'm going to write E dot ds should be written as E dot ds is equal to what we are written? E ds cos theta. E ds cos theta. And here, as already we know, since the angle theta is equal to 0 because the angle between E and ds is 0. Already we are done in the last class also. I said just now also I said the angle between these two is 0. So with this, what happens? E dot ds will get, correct? So that means cos 0 is equal to 1. So the electric flux through this particular small area element means the entire Gaussian surface we are going to get. Then for that, what we have to do? We have to write the whole Gaussian surface. That means IE is equal to closed integral E dot ds. Closed integral E dot ds. And from here, I'm going to write E integral ds, and closed integral that this should be written as E, or we can write is equal to, writing just simplifying this. Okay, so what you'll get now? This should be equal to what you'll get? E into S. Correct? Integral of ds should be S. So what is the surface area? Where S is the surface area of the sphere. Surface area of the sphere. Okay, so surface area of the sphere is how you'll write this one. Which surface area of the sphere? This one. This is with respect to the Gaussian surface. Then what is the radius of that Gaussian surface? That is R. So that means the surface area of this Gaussian surface with radius small r, of radius small r is equal to surface area of the sphere is 4 pi square. So take this value and substitute this E into 4 pi r square. E into 4 pi r square. Right? This is about the expression what we got, the total flux which is coming out of this sphere and when the point lies outside. Now actually our aim is to find electric field intensity at a point outside. So at this particular point, now we are going to get the electric field intensity. So how we'll write the electric field intensity at this particular point? So this should be written as, so how anyone can guess how we'll write? So here we have to write this expression as like this. Here I'm writing this, I will erase. You people also just write down. Okay. Just copy this. All the steps, everyone. I'm writing. So from Gauss law, pi is equal to closed integral E dot ds is equal to what is that? Q by epsilon naught, because the charge present on this is plus Q by epsilon naught. This should be equal to E into 4 pi r square. E into 4 pi r square. So that means Q by epsilon naught is equal to E into 4 pi r square. Then our aim is to find E. Then E is equal to what you'll get? Q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. Just I had taken this term to this side. Then the electric field intensity with respect to the charge on this uniformly charged distribution of the sphere when the point lies outside the sphere is how much? E is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. So this is the electric field intensity. Okay. So any question? So this is when the point lies outside the sphere. So note it down this. If you complete it, I go for the second one. So this is done. So what about the second one? Electric field intensity at a point on the surface of the charged sphere. So on the surface means again the diagram should be changed and we have to work it out. If it is clear, can I erase this? Students, can I erase this? If it is completed, can I erase this derivation? Completed all the steps? Done? Then put the heading next, second one. First one we have completed. And now we are going to do the second one, that is electric field intensity at a point on the surface of a uniformly charged sphere. Surface of a uniformly charged sphere. So this is about for the first one. Okay, this is for first one. Point lies outside. Now second one I am drawing. So here I am going to take the sphere here on the surface, right? So this is the sphere I have taken. The point lies on this sphere. Okay. So now from the center, already I have taken. Whether this sphere and the radius with respect to this sphere, what we are taken here, this is capital R. This is the center, center of the sphere, and this is the radius, and the charge present on this is plus Q. So it is uniformly distributed. Q without plus Q you can write. Okay, just for understanding purpose, I'm writing. Okay, already I said this is uniformly distributed on the whole surface. Correct. Now, when the point lies on the surface, when the point lies on the surface, either I can take here or here also I can take, or here also I can take, somewhere here also I can take, wherever you want. But the meaning is what? This is on the surface. It is on the surface. So it is on the surface, then it should be taken. That means from here to here, or from here to here, or from here to here, the distance is similar. Correct? The radius will be similar. So radius will be how much? Capital R only. So the meaning is when the point lies here, now what happens here? The Gaussian surface also should be taken on this sphere itself. So that means here R should be equal to capital R. In this case, R should be equal to capital R. So now in this case, here I can write when the point lies on the surface of the sphere, then the R should be equal to capital R. And in this case, the electric field intensity when the point lies on the surface should be written as E is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R squared. Only instead of small r, you will get capital R. So this is directly, no need to work it out because directly you will get the same expression. Okay, so how you will get this one? Anyone can guess how you will get? Because before this, actually the steps will be like this. Pi E is equal to E dot ds, correct? Close integral E dot ds. And from here we can write E dot ds is equal to close integral, E. This we can write E into surface area of the sphere, that is S, and this should be equal to 4 pi capital R. So we can write this as E into 4 pi capital R. This we'll write, correct? And where from Gauss law, E dot ds should be equal to Q by epsilon naught. Q by epsilon naught, correct? So directly we can write E is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R square. That's why I didn't write directly, I written. Okay, so like this. This is the expression when the point lies on the surface of the sphere. Okay, so this is about the second. So second one also completed. When the point lies on the surface, so then what will be the electric field intensity? E is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R square. Now, the third one is very important when the point lies outside the sphere. When the point lies inside the sphere, how it should be calculated. So this is very important because see, when the point lies outside, it is easy for us, correct? Because we have to draw other than the radius of the sphere, we have to take the point outside, and where the point taken, then the unit drawn normal vector also should be taken along with that particular surface, and that is also outward drawn normal. Then the angle between them will be equal to 0. But when we go for the third one, that is about when the point lies inside, then this is typical. So what is that? How it will be typical? But it seems to be typical, but mathematically we can do easily. We can work it out. How we can work it out? Here, this is when the point lies outside, and here when the point lies on the surface. Correct? Now we are going to see the third one, that is when the point lies inside. How we do? Okay. So up to here, any questions? 2 we completed. Now we are going to see about the electric field intensity at a point inside. So any question, any one of you, Ganesh, Dikshita, any one of you? If you have any question, if it is clear, then I'll go for the next. Please respond. Is it okay? First two topics, when the point lies outside and when point lies on the surface. If it is okay, then I'll go move to the third one, that is when the point lies inside the charged sphere. Guys, not responding. If it is okay, then I'll move. Clear? Any questions? No. You can write in chat box also. Okay, I'm going to the next third one, that is electric field intensity, a point inside the charged sphere. So now this is about the diagram we have seen for the second. And now third one I'm going to draw. The point lies inside. So first I will explain the diagram and then I'll go for the derivation. Okay. Or otherwise, if it is completed this, I will erase this and I'll draw here itself. So here I'm taking the means charged sphere. Okay, I'm taking a bigger sphere. Why? Because here we are going to take the point inside the charged sphere. Now, as usual, already we have taken the radius of the sphere from the center to this will be capital R, correct? And this is the center of this sphere, O, and the charge present on this is plus Q, and it is uniformly distributed on the whole surface. So it doesn't mean that only on the outside part, it is on everywhere here also. But if I draw here, you'll get confused. That's why I'm not drawing that. Already I said, again, I'm repeating. So this is about the uniformly charged sphere. Now, when the point lies inside the sphere, suppose here I'm taking some other point, here I'm taking, okay. So inside, this is not on the surface, it is now inside. I've taken a point, which is at a distance of small r, and the point I'm taking here is P. Just like how we took when the point lies outside, here I'm taking the point inside, okay. So this is about this. Correct. Now, when you take it like this, then what you have to do here, you have to take a Gaussian surface, right, with respect to this particular point. Why? Because we are going to find the electric field intensity with respect to this point. Correct. So now here I am going to draw the Gaussian surface with respect to this particular point. Okay. So this is the Gaussian surface I have taken. So now the radius of this sphere is smaller. The radius of this sphere is R. Correct. And now the charge present on this is Q. At the same time, the charge present on this small r is also, the charge is plus Q only. Correct. Same. Even same as it is. Here inside also you'll get the same charge. And again, I'm requesting everyone in another 10 minutes, this link is going to expire. So once it is closes, again, you request you to join with the same link. Okay, guys. So keep this. So this is our Gaussian surface. Now the charge with respect to this also plus Q only. So how we write the radius already I said it is smaller. Now the total surface area of the sphere is S. Now with respect to this also S only. Then we take a small area element on this. Then the surface area element with respect to this will be ds. And now the electric lines of force will be outward from normal. So this is the outward direction. Why it is outward? Just I explained everyone, because due to positive charge, always the lines of force will be outward from normal. So that means always it will be perpendicular to that particular point. So this is our point where we are going to get electric field intensity. Therefore, the electric lines of force with respect to this positive charge present on this will be outward. But I'm not drawing all the lines because only one point where we are going to get the electric field intensity. So only that line I draw. Even you people also in exam you have to explain like this only. Okay. Now with respect to this small area element, that is ds, correct? So for the total surface is yes, with respect to the small area element, that is ds, and this is also again parallel to the electric lines of force, and this is our ds, correct? Then the angle between these two is also again 0, correct? Theta will be equal to 0. Both are same direction. So this is also drawn normal to the surface. So now with respect to this small area element, from the Gauss law, we can write pi E is equal to how we can write? Closed integral E dot ds is equal to E into what we'll get? E into integral ds, where integral of ds should be written as E into S, and where S is the surface area with respect to the Gaussian surface for the whole, because for the small area element that will be ds. If we are going to get for the whole, then we have to do integration. Already we know. I already said. So now the surface area with respect to this sphere is, now we can write S is equal to 4 pi small r square. So now here I am writing E into 4 pi r square with respect to the small area. Now, so this we got, correct? E is equal to E dot ds we got. And now from this, the total charge we have to get, because up to here the surface area we got. So now we got this with respect to this one, we got closed integral E dot ds should be equal to this one we got. And the same I can also write Q by epsilon naught is equal to this E into 4 pi r square. But will you obey with this? Is it satisfied? No. Why? Because here you have got only the electric field intensity only, but not the total electric field intensity. What we have to do here, the total charge enclosed by this Gaussian surface is important. So how you write the total charge enclosed with respect to this total Gaussian surface is important. So for that purpose, here the total charge, please note down everyone, the total charge, I'm not writing the total charge enclosed by this Gaussian surface will be written as volume enclosed by it into what is the other one? Charge per unit volume into charge per unit volume. So now what is this one? Charge per unit volume. What is this? The total charge you have to get. So total charge, when you want to find the total charge, how will you write that one? We have to explain that as volume charge. That means volume enclosed by it into the charge per unit volume. So volume enclosed by this Gaussian surface is, what is the volume of the sphere? Any one of you? What is the volume of the sphere? Volume of the sphere is
4 by 3 pi r cube.
Yeah, exactly. Good. 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay, because we are writing for the Gaussian surface, that is our radius is r, smaller. That is fine. Volume enclosed by it is 4 by 3 pi r cube, because I am going to write the total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. So it should be defined as volume enclosed by it into charge per unit volume. Then what is the charge per unit volume? Charge per unit volume is nothing but charge density. Correct or not? That will be rho. Okay. So now this is the total charge, and take this and substitute in the place of total charge enclosed by it. Why total charge enclosed by it? Because the Gauss law statement says the same thing, right? What Gauss law states? Gauss law states that the total flux which is coming out of any closed surface should be equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the total charge enclosed by it, right? So the total charge enclosed by it should be defined as volume enclosed by it into charge per unit volume. So take this and substitute in the place of Q. Come on, simplify this. I will erase here this top portion I will erase, and I will do. You people also continue. Do this. First diagram I am erasing, but for this third one, this is the diagram. Now here I erased, here I will do. So you people also do what you got, just as substitutions you have to do. So after substitutions, what you got? Total charge. Just take this total charge and substitute here. What you got? So it should be, how much you got? Please. Repeat it. Not it. Then just you have to substitute. Have we done or not? No. Okay. See here. The total charge. That means the charge is uniformly distributed around a sphere with of radius r. So now the total charge with respect to the sphere, this is the actual sphere where we are going to find. Therefore, the total charge density should be written as the total charge divided by total charge per unit volume, correct? So total charge per unit volume will be written as total charge is what we have taken plus Q, correct? What we have taken plus Q, correct? Total charge is plus Q. So plus Q divided by what is the volume of this sphere, actual sphere? What is the volume? It is 4 by 3 pi capital R cube now. 4 by 3 capital R cube. So rho is equal to, now we got rho can be written as 3, because this is in the denominator, it goes to numerator 3 cube by 4 pi R cube. Correct? Now take this value and substitute in the place of rho, charge density. So this is the total charge per unit volume elements with respect to the actual sphere what we are taking. Right? Take this and substitute here and simplify, you will get. Okay, substitute this one. So after substitution, the total charge enclosed. Okay, total charge here I'm writing total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. Enclosed by the Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface. So how it should be? It should be written as 4 by 3 pi small r cube into what is the other one? 3 cube divided by 4 pi capital R cube. Just simplify this. Everyone, what will you get? Just simplify this. Okay, simplify this. What do you get? So the leftover terms are here 3, 3, 4, 4 will get cancelled. So what are the leftover? Pi will also get cancelled. What are leftover? 4 will get cancelled. Pi will get cancelled. 3 will get cancelled. Correct? So what are leftover here? Q. Yeah. Tell me Q into R by capital R whole cube. Correct? So this is the total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. So now from here I'm writing final step, because it in another 1 minute it is going to close. So you just note it down. So from Gauss law, we got E into this one. E into 4 pi R square is equal to the total charge enclosed is 1 by epsilon times. What is the total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface? That is Q into R by capital R whole. Right? So simplify this, everyone. Simplify this. If you simplify this, then you will get. Okay, R cube R square will get cancelled. Then E is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R by R cube. This expression you will get. Okay.
ఏ పండు
34 students have joined. Okay, so here, this is the expression where we left over E into 4 pi r square is equal to 1 by epsilon naught Q into R by capital R whole cube are left over. And from here, if you cancel, if you take this one to the denominator, then R cube, R square will get cancelled, 1 R will be left over, then it should be written as E is equal to Q by epsilon naught into R by 4 pi R cube. So it should be written as E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q R by R cube. Q R by R cube. So this is the electric field intensity. But if R is less than or equal to capital R, if R is less than or equal to capital R, then this E should become as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. Okay, because R will be equal to capital R, and again it should be similar to the point on the surface. So again you will get the similar value. Okay, so why I said this, because so this is the derivation. Okay, so this is when the point lies outside the, sorry, inside the sphere. So now, based on the expressions, here we can write like this. So here I'm drawing the sphere. So it is very important question. Compulsory you can expect in exam. That's why. So please note down, everyone. So this is the sphere which we are taken, and now this is the center, right? And the radius is what? This radius is capital R. This is the center O. Correct. So now here, why I'm taking this, because that's how this, when the point lies, how it will vary. That I would like to show with you all in terms of graphical notation. So that's why I had drawn. Okay. So now here, this is the x-axis if I take, x-axis and y-axis if I take, and now this is the origin. I can take O, and here is capital R, and this also I can take capital R. Correct? Both this side and this side, both will be same. Correct? Now, why I said, because here E is inversely, E is directly proportional to R is there, and E is inversely proportional to 1 by R square also there. Correct? So these are the relations how it has been taken. Correct? So with this here, how it should be written. See? The same expression we can write. I'm extending this. So when the point, when these are lies inside, this is the electric field. Now, this is not straight line, it's a curved line. Okay, so that means this exponential shows for E is inversely proportional to R square, and this line shows for E is directly proportional to R square, or R. Okay, so this is the relation. Wherever the inverse is there, you get the exponential. This is also exponential. Okay, and where you have a slant line, that means a straight inclined line, then that will be called direct proportion. That means linear, straight line, wherever you have, that will be called E is directly proportional to. So the meaning is, wherever the electric field intensity it lies on the surface or outside the surface, we will get similar. But whereas when the point lies outside, it is inversely proportional, and if it is inside, then it is directly proportional. Here our expression we got the same. R is directly proportional, so the point lies inside. When the point lies outside, then it is inversely R square. Correct? So this you have to explain the exam like this only. So that means, so from this, what we consider, that means the point which we considered with respect to this charged sphere, uniform charged sphere. So this shows about when the point lies outside, inside, and on the surface, the electric field intensity can be calculated, and it is easy to. And these are the steps to be followed. Any questions, please? All of you understood this? It's very important. You can expect even in the SEM exam as well as in mid also, you can expect the question. You have to write explain 3 and you have to show. Okay. So is it okay? Any questions? please. Any questions you have? No question? Anyone of you? Ganesh is not there. Dikshita? Ganesh is not there today. Today we have completed
Yes,
this.
sir.
Yeah, Dikshita.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Ganesh is not there today.
No, sir, he has some network issues, sir.
Okay, okay. So you take the attendance and share to me. Okay.
Yes, sir, I already took.
Very good. Thank you. So any questions? Nobody having any questions? Understood? What about you? Have you understood? Dikshita, Ravali, Pawan, Rohit. Understood? You have anyone have any question? No? So put the heading next one. Electric field due to infinite sheet of charge. Next heading. Just I'll explain the diagram and we'll see the derivation tomorrow. Tomorrow we have second above. So chat box given. Understood? Right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. Thank you. So next, put the heading electric field. Electric field due to infinite sheet of charge. Sheet of charge. So I'll give the diagrammatic part today. Derivation we'll see tomorrow second hour. Okay, tomorrow second hour I'm taking. Already I said in the last week, right? So tomorrow 10:30. People join with the same link. Anyway, I will share again. Right. So here in the previous one we have seen about the charged uniformly charged sphere. Now we are going to see about the infinite sheet of charge. Infinite. Okay. So infinite sheet of charge, how it should be taken and how it should be worked out. So now just a diagrammatical part I will cover. The 5 minutes after completing this, we'll see the, I will close and tomorrow we'll see the derivation. Okay. So just see the diagram, how it should. Everyone can draw infinite sheet of charge. So here I have taken a sheet. This is the sheet I have taken. Okay. Now, when sheet is taken and the charge present on this is total charge is plus, okay, plus Q is the charge I have taken. Because it is already said it is an infinite sheet, right? So infinite sheet meaning is what? It is not, there is no any finite. So it is infinite. Okay? Thus you can put with dotted line. Okay, that side and as well as this side. Okay, put some dot lines. This is the infinite sheet. At the same time, you can also show on all sides. Okay. So because it is an infinite sheet. Now the charge present on this is plus Q. So it is spreaded on the whole surface, not any particular surface. Correct. So this is the total charge. Now we are going to get the electric field intensity with respect to this infinite sheet of charge. But how it should be? When you take a point on this, it should be some spherical form, correct or not? It should be some circular or should be some circular in shape or cylindrical in shape, correct? So that means here I've taken a point, but with respect to that particular point, here it should form some circular or spherical shape. Right. So that means this is a chance of occurrence either this side or that side also. Correct. That means both the sides should be taken into consideration. So for that purpose, here what we have to do. So we have to take a Gaussian surface at this particular point, and this is the Gaussian surface which we are taking with respect to this small element. Correct. So this is on one side, and this is on another side. This is on one side, and this is on other side. Correct or not? Like this we have to take, and the meaning is from here to this center, this is also will be taken as R. Okay, is a distance from this particular point P to this one. So that means there is a two chances I said, this is P1 and this is another point P2, right? So in same case, we have to take both. And the total surface is yes, and this is the Gaussian surface we have taken. This is about the Gaussian surface. So after assuming Gaussian surface, how it should be calculated, that we have to work it out. Okay, so now at the same time, the unit normal vector also can be taken outward drawn normal. So with respect to this, it should be ds, and it is also drawn outward normal. And the electric lines of force with respect to this positive charge will be also outward drawn normal. Correct? This is around with respect to point P1. This is the point P1. Whereas coming to point 2, here also there is a same similar notation. This is electric lines of force outward drawn, and with respect to the small area element, this should be ds. Correct? This should be ds. Correct? So with respect to the small, the total surface is yes, then we have to take this. Correct? So now this is our infinite sheet, and this is our Gaussian surface which we are taken because to get front side as well as back side. So that can be shown with a graphical notation with some Gaussian. So which type of Gaussian surface here I taken? Curved surface. Curved surface means what we call, it is called as which surface we can say? It is a Gaussian curved surface, but we can call it as cylindrical surface. Cylindrical Gaussian surface. Okay, so cylindrical or curved surface or cylindrical Gaussian surface. Because if you take how many faces you can see now? 1, 2, and on the third, but when it is coming onto the sheet, the third one will not be considered because the curved one comes again here only, some more point, some other point, right? So no need to be take into consideration. So only once P1 and P2 points are enough to get this. And at the same time, this also can be written as small. So that's why I taken 1. We'll work it out for 1, and then we have to write with respect to 2. So that means as E and ds are parallel to each other for both the ends, for end, because for this end lap and for this end lap will be taken the Gaussian surface, and the total flux to these two caps will be written as here phi E is equal to closed integral E dot ds plus closed integral E dot ds for this one and as well as for the correct. So when you take the angle between these two will be equal to same again 0. So it should be E dot s and this will be E dot. And this can be written as 2Es. This is called correct. Now the total charge enclosed by this cylinder will be the total charge enclosed by this cylindrical surface will be rho s. Total charge. Correct. So the total charge will be 2s, and from this Gaussian surface, the total charge this should be equal to rho s. Correct. So now the total electric flux density E should be written as rho s by 2 epsilon naught. Correct. Epsilon naught. We can write. How I written this one as epsilon directly? Anyone can guess? S is also there. Okay. 2 epsilon because it is in free space. Correct. Now the total charge is rho s. Now then what about this? Yes. Can you write? Yes. And 2 I have taken this side. S I have taken here. Now how this will be written? 2s is equal to rho s by 2 epsilon. Okay. Correct. So charge density on this will be written as, so here the total charge Q should be written as rho into surface. Like this we have to write, and then this rho s can also be written as rho s into s divided by 2 epsilon naught. Then s will get cancelled. E is equal to rho s by 2 epsilon naught. This. So you people have to think and you have to give the answers. Okay. So this is the electric field intensity due to infinite sheet of charge. Okay, we'll see the remaining tomorrow. Okay, again we'll continue. So any questions as of now? Anybody having any questions, please respond. If you don't have any questions,
I have a question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Electric field intensity due when we keep a point inside the sphere, inside the surface, sir.
No, no, it is the surface only. It is the sheet. What is our surface? Sheet.
No, sir. Last.
Last one. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Ask me. Hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
According to
sphere.
the graph. Yes, sir.
You are
According
asking
to the
about,
graph.
yeah, according to the graph, this is the point, and point lies here, correct?
Yes,
This is a
sir.
point, and here we are taking a Gaussian surface, correct?
Yes, sir.
So here we have to get, then how you'll write? The total charge enclosed by this Gaussian surface should be written, correct?
Yes, sir.
So total charge enclosed by this Gaussian surface, how you'll write? This should be written as the total volume, means volume enclosed by it, into the total charge per unit volume. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that only I substituted there.
Yes, sir. But my doubt is when the point is at the center of the sphere. Center of the sphere.
Good. When the center of the sphere, then what will get?
We get infinity, no, sir. But
Yeah, you'll get infinity.
practically-
Yeah,
But
exactly.
according to the graph, it is showing 0.
According to the graph, it is showing 0 because it is 0 because it is same point exactly at the center. So that means center means you can't do, correct or not? That means radius is no, there will be no any radius here only, correct? So that's
Yes,
why I
sir.
shown 0. You are saying that it should be infinity, right?
Yes, sir.
No, because it is center. It is center means it should be 0, not infinity. If it is infinite like this, in this case, it may be chance of
But-
appearing. One more.
But when we
Yeah, tell me.
have nothing, sir.
No, you are saying about if it is a halo, then that should be infinite.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Clear? If you have, still we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Right. Read once. Okay? We'll discuss again tomorrow. Right. Thank you. Good. Okay. So I'm stopping. Take care, everyone.